Yo, what is up, PPL fans? Shoutout here, coach of Bayern Munich, and welcome to PPL Season 5, Week 4. This week we're against Jack, the Donphanatic, and his Norwich Skitty. And this is my second time recording this. Apologies for this being late, but my laptop decided, not my laptop, Camtasia decided to be a fucking cunt yesterday and not let me edit my video with the recording I had initially. So I now have to re-record this the next day, and I want to die, and everything sucks. So, that's fun, but regardless, yeah, we're up against Jack. His link will be description below as always. Make sure to check him out. He's the founder of the league, and you can watch his battles and whatnot. And you can probably learn a thing or two about being bad and still winning games. I'm just kidding, but yeah. Then shout out to Jack for recording the match, as well as Blaze, Shoutout for joining my team. Thank you both very much. As well as all the PPL links in the description below. You know, the fan shop, which, by the way, I know some of you bought shirts and hoodies or whatever else. I want to know who you are so I can love you forever, and send me pictures of you in that, because I can put them on my wall. I won't actually, but yeah, in spirit I will. So yeah, that's a thing. And a fan Discord and all that stuff, you know it by now. And yeah, so let's get into the matchup. If you want to know what I'm bringing, I have a team analysis dedicated to that. The link to that is also in the description. It should be the first link down there. And let's just go over what Jack brought. As you can see, he decided to bring Electivire, Gastron, Mega Beedrill, Necrozma, Infernape, and Togekiss. So, Electivire, not something I expected at all. I was very much expecting Goodra over that, potentially even Steelix. I think that was more likely. Even Katana. I think Electivire was honestly the least likely one in my eyes, at least. So that's kind of surprising, honestly. As Goodra was one of the things I was most worried about personally, so that's kind of interesting. Regardless, I'm gonna hit the play button real quick. There's gonna be like fucking 30 seconds before the game starts anyway. So yeah, looking at this, in my mocks I decided to leave with Duck Trio. However, I decided to leave with Aerodactyl in this, because I realized if I leave with Ducky, he's with Mega Beedrill. I have to risk rolls. I have to risk either 50-50 rolled Earthquake or an 80% of hitting a Stone Edge to kill it. So I much rather just leave with my Aerodactyl and get my rocks turn 1 as he hopefully to Mega Beedrill. Also gives me a decent lead matchup against Togekiss or Infernape if he leads with either of those. I don't think Infernape is ever staying in on Aerodactyl. So yeah, that's what I'm going to leave with. Hopefully he does use Mega Beedrill. If he does, then I will be perfect and get my rocks turn 1, and they are likely to stay. So we are challenged by Pokemon trainer Jack, and his trainer is kind of cute. Look at him. Look at him go. So we love with Kingsley. As he leads off with Boris, his Electivire, and that is unfortunate. I'm gonna have to get up out of here. I can't kill him because I'm defensive, and I don't wanna risk him being Scarf either. So like, there's no point in me staying in. I'm just gonna go Jirachi because there's a chance he might go for like a Ice move, and I don't want to switch into my Dougie on that. That'd be silly. So knowing Jirachi can sponge anything that's coming in, I'm gonna go with that. He goes for Volt Switch, and net damage tells me he's max special attack, which is really good to know because that means he likely can't do much to my Zard even if he has Earthquake. So he brings in Infernape. I think he's gonna overpredict. I have a Finny in the back. Plus I have the Occa Berry, so I'm just gonna say in Scout is set because I want to know what set he is. I want to know what item he is. You go for the Hot Stamp, just get damage off. And yeah, it turns out he has max attacks and U-turn, so I'm thinking he's Scarf. At this point, that would make a lot of sense. And he goes into the Necrozma, and I'm like, okay, this has to be a Stealth Rock. It appears to be a Scarf variant or something of the sort. I'm just going to throw up a Wish, as he will likely get up his rocks, because I do have a Zard in the back. So that's entirely possible to play. So throw up the Wish, and he goes for a Short Stance. I'm like, ah, fuck, I can't believe you've done this. So, unfortunately, he's left... fortunately for me, actually, he's leftovers, which means I can just Toxic him the following turn. I can also go for the Flinch, hope to get my hope to get the Flinch with Hot Stamp, get my Wish back, and then Toxic him. But honestly, that'd be a bit of a shit play. So I'm just gonna go for the safe Toxic. If he was Rock Polish right here, I might just lose, but he just goes for Earthquake. Thankfully he wasn't actually a Rock Polish variant, because that would have been a bit of a problem. So Rachi goes down, doing absolutely nothing for the 3rd week in a row. I swear 1 week I'm gonna make you do something again, dear captain or whatever. So yeah, Necrozma takes toxic damage, and from this range I can't kill with anything on my team. So what I'm gonna have to do is go into Scott and just sub up a couple of times. I'm expecting him to be max HP, and that's what I'm gonna base off of. That's what I'm gonna base my playoffs off. Base my place off? Yeah, that one. So he just goes for a second cut. He doesn't switch. Also, you know, sub would obviously cover the play of him switching out. If he goes into like Gastron, that would be perfect. He can Toxic that, Pain Split, and all that jazz, and just kind of be a little shit, but you know, over these couple turns, I'm just gonna sub down until he is in range for Hex, because I'm not fully invested. There was a chance he would switch out initially, fearing like an offensive spell tag, Hex or something of the sort. Maybe even Specs, considering that he doesn't have a Ghost Resist, that was entirely possible. But yeah, so he just goes for Psycho Cut and he keeps back on his sub. If he's max HP, which I'm assuming he is, I don't think he's gonna be Spit F Sword Stance. If he is, then oh well, I'm gonna get fucked. Hex is around 68 to 81%. So I want to get him around the range. Excuse me, and just kind of go from there and see what he wants to go after. What he wants to do afterwards. He might be in range now from this range, but I don't want to risk that, so I'm just going to sub up again. Play it safe. If he moonlights at any point, then sure, be my guest. I'll take the free sub. So, yeah. That's completely fine by me, honestly, because if he moonlights at any point, he will be in range for Toxic. He will be in range with the Toxic from Hex. So that's all fine, dandy. And sub is just my play. And after this round of Toxic damage and the leftovers he just got, this very much looks like he's in range for Hex. If he doesn't die, then he's very sped up, and I fucked up. But I'm gonna go for the Hex. And he does go down. So Rodman gets his first kill because he's much deserved. The Crossmire goes down. I didn't get swept by it. Oh my god, look at it, how broken it is. What? Nay. I'm just kidding, but yeah. Get back to just over half as he brings in Danger Zone. That is his Mega Beedrill. And that's perfect because I can just throw in my Aerodactyl. No matter what he does, I will get Rocky Helmet damage off. If you click Pursuit, that would have been a godly play. Not a godly, but like pretty good play. Pretty cool bring, most importantly. Thankfully he didn't. So, I'm going to go my Aerodactyl here and eat up any hit and get the Rocky Helmet damage off that I need for him to be guaranteed in range for my Earthquake from my Duck Trio. So, yeah, he's going to go for the knockoff, and that actually does a ton of damage because I'm an Aerodactyl. But since I'm defensive, I take that reasonably well. He takes the Rocky Helmet damage that I need, and now I can just get up my rocks as he just makes the U-turn play. There's no reason not to. He knows I'm not Scarf, obviously, from seeing that I have a fucking Rocky Helmet. So, yeah, I'm just gonna get my rocks as he goes into Gastrodon, and these might be here to stay. So, at this point, I feel like he might pull double expecting my Finny. Maybe he goes to Beedrill, maybe he goes into Electivire. So I kind of decide to make the play of going for Stonehenge. Now, bit of an unnecessary play, though. I feel like if he made the play into any of those two, I would have lost a fair amount of momentum that I, would have put in a suboptimal position. I just don't want to do that. So I felt like, trying to get the double was fine, and now I just get a free switch into anything that I want, which is going to end up by being my Rotom. So I don't need Aerodactyl. I have the damage off on my on his Speedrill. I have my rocks up, so this is all fine, dandy. I'm going to sub up here on the Gastron, kind of thinking he might fear maybe an HP Grass, or just in general Toxic goes to Beedrill or something, and I can Pain Split or Hex it. Probably Hex it, honestly. So yeah, basically sub was my play, and now it also obviously allows me to be low at health. And just get a huge Pain Split off on virtually anything, because his entire team is at a decent amount of health, barring the Beedrill. And even that, if I get Beedrill a little lower, that would be cool. Though at this point, I would have to stack something to it every time it comes in. Or go into my Zard and hope they don't take that much. But, gonna go for the Pain Split, get a ton of health back, almost get back to full. As he goes for Scald. That, with my investment, is not a 2 KO. Thankfully, he doesn't get the burn. That is huge for me. Because now on the following turn, I'm just going to fire off Toxic on this thing, and Gastrodon is slowly but surely being put in range, or, slowly but surely, I'm getting in a good position with Zard. The Crossbone's gone out, one of the things that could take a hit potentially, and this thing is now Toxic. So, and rocks are up. So Togekiss obviously dies, as I said to my team builder, +1, he dies to a, Flabbits with my spread. So he goes for Scald again, still doesn't get the burn, so we're lucky, or at least not unlucky, I suppose. And this Gastron is trying to be a Manaphy with the whole not getting a burn thing. So he's low, and I feel like he might either switch, and even if he doesn't, he's low enough at low enough of a range where high enough of a range rather, and I'm really low where I can still get a decent amount of health back. So he goes into Mercy. That is his Togekiss. And I'm just gonna Hex up as he takes the rocks damage, Hex up, Pain Split up, get some health back, and if the thing is uninvested with Air Slash, he can't break my sub. However, I'm expecting him, as you will see here in a second, he is leftovers. I'm kinda expecting him to just defog, even if he doesn't, if he wants to like nasty plot, which would be a ridiculous play, as he now knows my full set, however, so he could do that, but I don't think that would be a smart play. I'm just gonna fight with Toxic. So the thing is Toxic as well. Roma is just spreading the fucking 8s everywhere, and Togekiss is Toxic. As he's gonna pull the defog on this turn. That's unfortunate. I would have preferred if he didn't have that, but you know, it is what it is. Beedrill is still in range for Dougie. So, yeah, he's gonna go for that. I'm gonna get my leftovers back. On this turn, I'm gonna sub. I don't expect him to only have Air Slash, especially not invested. However, if he does have that and goes for Air Slash this turn, and I don't go for sub, I'm gonna fucking kick myself. So I'm just gonna make that play on sub up. Scout for his set a little bit. Also, of course, I do get toxic damage off on him, and that's all fine and dandy. Still, you know, just over half of the leftovers I will get back, and he goes for Flamethrower. Kind of expected that, very much expected actually, and that guaranteed breaks my sub. It does up to 40%, so you know that's uninvested, which I'm pretty sure he was. So, gonna get my leftovers back as he's gonna do the same and take toxic damage. And on this turn, I just decided to go for a Hex because I want to get rid of the thing. I want to get rid of all of his bulk. Rotom is doing a fantastic job. Rotom and Dugtree are doing a fantastic job against this team. Hopefully Dugtree is going to be able to get rid of his offense. Well, Rotom is getting rid of his defense slowly but surely. All 3 of his defensive mons have been either killed or heavily weakened or crippled by this Rotom. So he's going to Flamethrower. Doesn't get a burn with that either. That would have been kind of ironic if Skull didn't get a burn but Flamethrowered it. But you know, and this Togekiss is going to go down to toxic damage here, as Hex wasn't quite enough to kill it. Regardless, that's a kill for Rotom. That's 2 kills for Rotom. I am very happy because I love this thing. And Togekiss goes down. So, at this point, Rotom has done his job. Gastron is toxic. He killed 2 things, most of them being Togekiss. So I can just sack it off against the Mega Beedrill, as he does make the smart play of going for U-turn. If you were to go for a knockoff or anything like that, or Poison Jab, I would have just come in Dugtree and kill him. So, yeah. His play was U-turn 100% of the time. That's fine though, because I get momentum and can see what he goes into. That turns out to be Winston the Infernape. And now I'm going to go into my Dugtree as well. Because if he's set that can't kill, my Dugtree can't kill, like Sash or something, I can then go into my Shell, I guess. I can set up my Zod later on it, and that's good knowledge. If he isn't anything, as you can see, he just drops, then well, he's dead. He was actually Scarf Infernape, so, you know, 4 ways of helping with my Zod. That's a smart brain. But Infernape goes down, as you can see, as I said, Dugtrio is going to get rid of his offense, and that's all fine and dandy. So, yeah, he brings Gastron. Obviously, he can't pull a double because I'm a Dougie, so I can just safely go into my Tapu Fini here. Get up the Misty Surge. Don't have to worry about Sculpins, as he just obviously goes for the recover. That's his best play. And yeah, that's that. I think in his video he said he could 1v1 me if he wasn't toxic. I think he forgot that I have taunt, which I told him after the game, so you know, that's fine. I'm just gonna fight with Moonblast. I don't have a reason to taunt, as I don't want to give Mega Beedrill the super free switch in. He's gonna show it to clear smoke, which is nice prep for a potential Calm Mind Fini. So props to him. That's a good bring. Also, I guess helps with Zard in an emergency situation where Gastron can live and can get rid of my boosts. But at this point, I still have everything I have left. I need left to win. Fini is essential at helping with Gastron, keeping it relatively low. At this point, I feel like Moonblast is still my play, because if he switches, I get damage off. If he stays in with the toxic damage and the Moonblast damage, even if he recovers, he's still going to be at a low amount of health, and Zard can kill it from there at +1. So he brings his Mega Beedrill. I'm going to go for the Moonblast. I get the special type drop. That obviously matters a lot because he's not able to go for the Sludge Bomb. Yeah, that one. No. But at this point, I'm just going to stay with Tapu Fini. I feel like he might overpredict, and he does. He goes for the knockoff, trying to catch my Dougie on the switch in. But that's not going to happen. I'm just going to stay and go for the Moonblast. This is why I wish I had Psychic or Surf. That'd be kind of cool, but I feel like all the moves I had were a little bit more important. Maybe I could have dropped Nature's Madness, but that's hindsight. I still think it was a good bring. So he's going for U-turn. My Fini is still alive and kicking, so this is all fine and dandy. And with him having Beedrill and Electivirus as well as Gastron, Dougie's looking nice. Zard is looking nice. So especially with Gastron looking just over half health. So I'm gonna go for Moonblast here on the Electivirus, and I get a crit and a special attack drop. So that's really unfortunate. Don't know how much it matters in the long run. However, what it's going to do is allow Fini to get another kill. As it does, this is a third game Fini came, and it's a third kill. So he goes for the HP Grass in case they want to go to Dougie, and he goes down to the Moonblast. So I could have set on Zard with that thing, essentially. So I don't know how much that mattered because I knew he was back special attack, so Tectonic Rage probably wouldn't have killed me. So yeah, he now goes into his Mega Beetle and goes for the Poison Jab. At this point, I could go into my Zard and set up with that. And win that way and get a 2-0. However, the safest way I can win is go into my Beedrill, click Earthquake on this, and then keep spamming Earthquake against the Gastron. Because if he gets a crit poison on my Zard with the Mega Beedrill's Poison Jab, and I don't kill Gastrodon from the range was at a +1, well, it was possible because I think it might still have been possible. I'm not exactly sure, honestly. But yeah, he's like a crit poison, and then lives this. Then I lose, and I don't want to do that. So safest play was just Earthquaking and spamming that, and then hopefully with the toxic damage and the decent amount of 30-ish% that Earthquake is doing, the thing is going to go down to Dragon Claw afterwards. So I think I would have actually been able to kill him with a Dragon Claw, so I could have set up earlier with my Zard and gotten 2 or 3 kills and made this a little bit better differential, but I don't know. I didn't calc how much I would do at that point. Probably should have. I didn't even calculate if it was fully this, so it's a bit of a misplay there, a bit of a mistake rather, but you know, whatever. We take this game as he goes for the Scald and knocks out my Duck Trio. I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed to kill because I'm a fucking Duck Trio and I die to everything ever. So yeah, what we can do now is just, as he gets leftovers back and takes the toxic damage, go into my Zard, and he's guaranteed in range. He's just below range for Absolute Mineral. And kill him with a Dragon Claw. So, Dragoneel is gonna come out. We're gonna Mega up, and this Gastron is not gonna live, and the Dragon Claw is gonna bring us the game. So, we're gonna get to see Zard Mega up again. That's beautiful. You always like seeing that, you know. Gonna go for the Dragon Claw, and Fetal Gastro goes down. So, we win week 4, 1-0 against Jack and his Norwich Skitty. GG Jack, that was a really good game. You know, as it goes in the uneven seasons, we have good close games that I win. I think they were always 1-0. I don't remember season 1. I think that might have been like a 2 or 3-0. Regardless, we always have really good games in the uneven seasons, and even seasons he hacks me or some other shit happens and I get upset and lose. Or lose and then get upset. Either way. Yeah, last season was not pretty. That was me choking like holy shit. But yeah, we move on to 3-1 plus 3. Yeah, 3-1 plus 3. Which, as we were top 4 last week, we're still looking at a top 4 spot. Obviously, no one could overtake us. I think. I'm not sure. Probably could have. I don't know. But we're still in top 4. I'm not going to say anymore because you might not have seen the other matches. Highly encourage you to check out everyone else in the PPL. They're all fantastic people with fantastic content. And yeah, MVP, I'm not gonna do the MVP slide because I just can't be fucked. This video is already late, so gonna give it to Duck Trio because trapping Beedrill and Infinite was really huge. Plus he was Chat Shell Electivire, so him having to trap so much for Duck Trio was just huge. So Dougie is busted, banned at 2017. I don't know. Yeah, shout out to Rotom as well for putting in so much work. And Aerodactyl, of course, was helpful too with the Rocky Helmet and the rocks. Though I guess at the end it didn't matter, but you know, it was nice to have. And yeah, so that's it. We'll move on to 3-1. And next week is the big one. I think this is the game that everyone has been looking forward to. I hope it is, because we go up against Jolt from Mitoku Minorities and his Toronto Staraptors, the, in my opinion, overall best prepper in the league. And I think since most players are fairly even in terms of playing, he's probably the best in the league. However, his Gen 7 experience hasn't been as great as his Gen 6 experience. And we played in the NPL. I was a toxic. No one enjoyed that time. Who knows what would have happened if I didn't miss that. So, time for revenge, I think. Definitely. But he has a weird team, scary team, and weird and everything. But that's gonna be a fun one. I hope you guys are looking forward to it because there's gonna be some spice. There's definitely gonna be some spice. And yeah, that's it. Tell me what you think of the team. Tell me what you think of the game. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, leave some newts. I will appreciate all 3 of those, and hopefully see you guys next time. Goodbye.